else in the lab. I just can't do it anymore, Blake. She stopped talking. In the poor light, she watched Blake rub his eyes with a forefinger and thumb. She knew what that meant. She'd seen him do similar after looking through a microscope for too long or coming out from a meeting with Johnson. She was boring him. Ellis reached for her lab coat, pulled one arm into it. Blake went to touch her, but she tore away from him. "Don't," she said firmly. "Come on, Ellie," he said. "I was listening, really." She went to leave, but then stalled by the storeroom door. She froze, waited. "Ellie?" Blake pried. She stepped back from the storeroom's small glass pane, looked to Blake, her eyes wide. "What is it?" he asked, but she placed a finger over her lips. "Kill the light," she said. "Someone's coming." Blake fumbled for the nearby torch, switched it off. Ellis returned to the glass pane, watched as someone entered Blake's office, flicked the light switch, then looked nervously around. "Who is it?" Blake said, peering over her shoulder. "Shush." The intruder was at Blake's desk, opening and ruffling through each drawer. He stopped, looked around for a moment, said, Come on, where are you?" He reached for a line of files on a shelf, pulled each down separately, flicked through them. "It's Chris Lennon," Blake whispered. "One of the reps." Ellis shushed him again. Lennon looked towards the storeroom, and Ellis froze, but something in the corridor outside disturbed the rep. He swore under his breath, replaced the file in his hand, and then quickly left the office. Ellis opened the storeroom door. Blake pushed past her. He reached toward the line of files, picking one from the shelf just as Lennon had done. "What was he looking for?" Ellis said. Blake didn't answer. Ellis watched him flick through the file. It didn't look like anything special. Experiment checklists, health and safety memos. The kind of paperwork she would see in the lab every day. "Blake?" she pressed. He looked up, met her gaze. "No idea," he said. But the expression on his face seemed guilty, like he knew exactly what Lennon had been after. "Come on, Blake," Ellis said. "He was looking for something. I'm not stupid." "Call security," Blake said. He retrieved the phone from the wall and handed it to her, but Ellis replaced it, folded her arms, and continued to stare at him. "Look, I don't know any more than you do," Blake protested. "Johnson handles all the contract stuff. I just do what I'm told." "And what have you been told?" Ellis countered. "Blake, you're an HSO. You've been told a hell of a lot more than the rest of us." Blake went to move, but Ellis blocked him. She wasn't going to let this go. He knew something, and she wanted to hear it. Damn it, she deserved more than this. "Come on, Blake. Talk to me," she pressed. Still Blake said nothing. Ellis threw her hands into the air, deflated. This wasn't how it used to be between them. When they had first started seeing each other, they'd talked a lot. There were stories from Blake's years of working as a surgeon prior to joining Altern, stories about Johnson and other characters they both knew within the lab. He talked of how Altern had lured him away from a career in medicine to work as a consultant on a range of antiviral drugs. But once Blake took over as head of Project QT, a new contract that made lab monkeys like Ellis very uncomfortable, the talking stopped. And now some rep was digging around his office. Blake threw his hands up in the air. "You see, this is the problem," he said. "What do you mean?" "You want to know why we can't be more than—" He searched, finding similar words to those she used. "Whatever it is we are. Well, this is why. There's stuff I'm not allowed to tell you. Stuff I'm not allowed to tell anyone. Even my—" He stopped short, looked at her. His face fell. "Your wife," Ellis finished for him bitterly. "Ellie, Forget it, Blake.